What is up, guys? How you doing today? Well, I'm here to bring you a review for Far Cry 4, which is the latest game I played. And Far Cry 4 is Ubisoft's sequel to the outstanding shooter Far Cry 3, which came out in 2012. And Far Cry 4 lives up to the potential pretty good. Far Cry 4 is an excellent action game, and it's one of the best looking games I've ever played. The setting is really unique. I love action adventure. That is my favorite genre. So when you put that in anything, I'm gonna like it, and that's what Far Cry 4 is. You play as this American Ajay Ghale who's come into this area of Shangri-La, and it's one of the best looking places I've ever been to in a video game. The mountain and the winter, the environment's very different from the jungles of Far Cry 3, and some of the themes are pretty intense, like they are in all Far Cry games. You get to choose different point of views and different sides that result with different consequences. The villain is fantastic, as always. The Troy Baker comes in and steals the show as Pagan Min. He's a tremendous villain. He's not in it as much as you would think, but he still has enough of an appearance to make it memorable. The gameplay is great as it was in Far Cry 3. I think this game was a little easier. It has a lot of the same missions and quests that were similar to Far Cry 3. You have to take down outposts, liberate towers. Um, the driving is a mechanic that they definitely increased in this game. They have this new function now where the car will automatically drive to the waypoint for you, so you don't have to drive and get lost and drive. And that was my biggest problem with Far Cry 3, the driving. Like you would drive off the road so easily, and your car would die, and you'd have to walk 600 feet, which was a pain in the butt. But they fixed that in Far Cry 4. I will say the story is not as long. It's a shorter game than Far Cry 3, but it's not by any means a bad game. It's a great game, as a matter of fact. The environment and the crafting system returns, and it's just as easy and fun as it was in Far Cry 3. I really like using the bow and arrow a lot in these games. I think this is one of the best first person games to utilize a bow and arrow. And it's so much fun to sneak in an outpost. Oh, you get to ride on elephants in this game and take out a lot of enemy soldiers like that. It's pretty fun knocking the enemy on its feet with the elephant. It's pretty cool. You feel like a real badass on top of there. Um, yeah, Far Cry 4. It's a terrific game. Great game. I recommend it for anyone who's a first-person shooter fan. I haven't played that much of the multiplayer, but I've heard it's really good. I'm gonna give it a shot. But I like to review games based mostly on their replay value and their campaign and their open world. There's a lot of side quests. There's a lot of different things you can do in this game. Far Cry 4 for me gets a 8.6 out of 10. It's a great game. I highly recommend it to video game players out there. The setting is rich. The gameplay is fun. The story is good. Far Cry 4.